Hey, what's going on, friends? I'm Nick, and I love art and technology, and one of the things that I've done in the last several years, I taught myself how to use Blender. Blender's a 3D software, allows you an incredible amount of empowerment, and I wanted to share very quickly and briefly the process that I use to learn Blender on my own with, well, the help of tutorials, of course, but with no schooling, no special education, no special training. I just sat down every day in front of my computer and did Blender things, and now I can say to some degree that I know how to use Blender. I'm not an expert, I'm not the best person in the world at it, but I can open it up and figure out how I need to do X to do Y. And that's when you're brand new to the whole thing, just starting, you don't have any of those ideas. So here's a very quick 3-step plan that will get you probably to where I am, provided you have enough patience to get through the difficult parts. Because that's the thing, it's not simple, it's not quick. Well, it's 3 steps, it's simple, but it's not easy. Step 1, do the Blender donut. Do the freaking donut. Just do the donut. By Andrew Price. It's really good. It teaches you a whole variety of things about Blender, takes you on a run through all sorts of different elements of the software, and will reinforce lots of good habits in you if you follow it step by step. The point of step 1, though, is not just to do the tutorial, it's to see something through from the beginning to the end, and to push past the difficult parts when you get stuck, and you will get stuck, unfortunately. It's just part of learning, it's to be expected. But as you get stuck, you'll figure out how to stop doing what you're doing, back up a step, retrace your steps, do the same thing over and over again until you eventually get to the end. It's very important that you get to the end, even if it takes you a very long time. That's okay. Even if it takes you a week of starting and stopping, that's all part of the plan so long as you get there in the end. Step 2, you do the tutorial again as much as you can from memory as possible. You don't need to, well, hopefully you've done enough in step 1 where you remember little bits to kind of get you guided through the beginning. But when you get stuck, you can refer back, but then eventually continue on from memory until you get stuck again. Do that over and over and over again until you've basically figured it out to the extent that you don't need the video anymore. And when I say that, I mean if you have to do the Blender donut 5 times, that's actually a strength by the end. You'll have really good reinforced hotkeys. You'll have a much better understanding of the workflow of the program. You'll be very happy you've done it, even if it was sort of frustrating in the interim. And step 3 is to do something derivative of that. This part is very important. Do another type of donut, do a different type of pastry, and it doesn't have to be the Blender donut necessarily, but just do something that applies the things you learned in that tutorial and allows you to use some of your own creativity and problem solving where you're not referring back to anything in that tutorial anymore. If you do get stuck doing whatever you're trying to do there, you're free to go look up other things, search for things as you need to, because this is part of learning and learning how to learn. The point is just not to refer back to the initial tutorial as much as possible, and ideally not at all. You need to be able to learn how to find the answers to your problems on your own in other sources, because you will get stuck even after you've been doing this for 5 years. Not that I have been doing it for 5 years, but I'm saying if you have been, even professionals need to refer to things, need to figure out where they get stuck, how to push past, and all that. So those are the 3 steps. Do the Blender tutorial of your choice, but I say do the donut because I think it's a really useful one. And also, it's useful because it will be updated. Andrew Price has updated this tutorial a bunch of times over the years, so hopefully if you find this video in the future, the donut will still be a thing that is relatively new. Chances are he'll probably make another one for the 5.0 release of Blender coming, and that will allow you to have a tour of the software. Number 2, do it again without the video in front of you, referring back to it where necessary. Number 3, do it again, but as a derivation entirely on your own. And once you're done with that loop, you are now free to begin a different loop. And this is where I said that it's going to be time-consuming and potentially frustrating. You might hit some stumbling blocks with your patience. That's okay. If you need to take some time, take some time. Just come back again the next day and be refreshed and try to come at it with a clear and open mind, if possible. Start over as much as you feel you need to, because every single time you started over, you're giving yourself better hotkey knowledge, better understanding of what you're trying to do, solidifying synaptic connections in your brain, so everything you do becomes a step up for the next thing you do. And the reason that this, at least in my opinion, the reason that this sort of technique, this step-by-step process works so well, or at least the reason why I think it works so well for me, is because you need to establish some kind of tentpole knowledge that you then attach all your other knowledge to. And what I mean by that is, when you open the program for the first time, you literally don't even know how to move. You don't know how to, like, move your perspective around or move an object to somewhere else. You don't really understand how the UI works. You don't understand all the nested software inside of the software, all the processes you need to learn. And it's really overwhelming, and that's completely reasonable. I felt that way too. So step 1 will take you through all of those various things, learning how to move, learning how to structure a file, learning how to move objects around, create new objects, manipulate them, change into edit mode with tab and all things like that. And you'll do it over and over again until it becomes foundational knowledge. And that's what's so key here. It's not just about seeing all the possibilities, but it's about doing them a bunch of times actively and getting out of a repetitious cycle of letting information wash over you without actually taking it on. So when you're actively doing something with the step 3 part where you're doing a derivation of the thing, that's where you're fully engaging all the steps that you've hopefully tried to reinforce in 1 and 2. So as you finish those processes, you finish a little project, you're happy with your donut, you made your derivation donut, maybe you made an eclair or something, I don't know, it's up to you. Then you'll go look for something that appeals to you, right? The donut is only the first step in a long series of learning processes, and you're going to be introduced to all sorts of concepts that you didn't even probably understand were in Blender. You might find that, at least in my case, I found I really enjoyed doing materials, so I started to get into procedurally generating materials using that shader editor. So I started looking into tutorials about that, and so I got kind of obsessed with it, and I did like dozens of tutorials learning about materials. That, in turn, taught me dozens of other things that became foundational knowledge just while I was trying to hone in on that particular thing. And maybe your thing is you like to create armatures and you want to make models and rig them and make animations. All of this information is out there on YouTube. You can find it for free, and you can have a great time taking it on. You'll be able to do anything you can think of if you spend the time and effort. But the main thing you just have to really focus on is you can do it. It's just about if you have the time and patience. And for me, I had to sit in front of the computer pretty much every day, with a couple of exceptions. I tried to do it every single day for like 3+ hours, and not everybody has time for that, and I know. That's not easy. It's basically a job. But it's really satisfying if you can push through the hard stuff and come out the other end with a new skill that is as empowering as Blender. Because as I said, I now know how to learn, and I can go and apply that to whatever other topic within Blender I want to learn, or literally any other topic in life, because you can kind of use this system in any way you want. So, cheers. I hope you enjoy learning Blender, and I hope that you have success with it. If you get frustrated, as I said, just go to bed. If you push yourself too hard, you feel fried, that's reasonable. It's going to happen a bunch of times. You're going to find, I don't have any more mental bandwidth for this today. I can't process anymore. I can't remember how to do X, Y, and Z. And now I've made this stupid looking thing and I'm mad about it. Just close the file, open a new one next time, and start from scratch again. Because again, every time you start from scratch, you're reinforcing hotkeys, foundational knowledge, UI knowledge, just the workflow of the program, and the more you do that, the easier it gets over a pretty quick amount of time. I mean, I'd say I was becoming facile with it within 2 months or so, and even within the first week, I could now do things I couldn't do before. So it's little steps, and you have to just reward yourself with the knowledge that you are improving even if you feel like you're failing. It just takes a while, and you can't always see it. But it's happening. It's truly happening under the surface. So, be confident as much as you can. There will be stumbling blocks. Be patient, and you'll make it through the other side. So I wish you luck. Enjoy learning Blender. It's a really fun experience most of the time, but sometimes it's frustrating. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.